yeah. Oh yeah. Everything, everything gonna be all right this morning.
Well.
Oh yeah.
Great day in the morning. You hear those birds chirping. I think I should have like headphones or a mic, but I ain't do that. I ain't do that. And I'm trying. This is how the show going to flow. So we still would do the three questions in the little studio. But other than that, here are the monologue thought. I saw the roast of Kevin Hart on Netflix. And I know a lot of people had a lot to say. So I add my however long this takes. I personally understand everyone's feelings and concerns because, you know, it's crazy times right now. And for people in general, because I don't know, it's definitely uneasiness. And I think it's kind of put in a way where we think it's because of this side or the other side, but it's not. That's not the uneasiness. The uneasiness is the reality that people are uneasy, and they're uneasy because it's becoming obvious to both sides to say that it's a little bit not about us because it takes both of us, regardless. But that's not. I'm not getting into. I'm not going to be pleading about being on a team or whatever. That's not my reason for saying what I'm about to say. But the reason why I'm about to say what I'm about to say is just basically the roast itself was good, and in a way, it kind of made you realize like what intent really means. Just because someone opposes what you feel is right or wrong doesn't make them bad. Not everyone. It's definitely people who deserve that smoke. But I'm talking about those who it's just it's the extreme that has gotten us here, and it's just carrying on more and more. I don't think people realize just how extreme they're kind of leaning. I remember me and a friend, good friend of mine, we had a disagreement on politics. And it wasn't like I chose something or they chose something. I just didn't choose what they felt was how it should go. And it's not even just politics. It could be about LeBron, Michael Jordan, women versus men. Like the order I just said it, and somebody says, "Oh, why he had to say women first?" Right. Um, all kinds of things that make people just anxious, and that is not good when you have never really dealt with anxiety. Like I think now you also a large group of people are realizing that they are dealing with issues that they don't deal with. And that is the one thing about let's say what it really is on the surface and underneath too is just racism. Racism is the one of the biggest things here. And to try to move on with that will have these kind of conflicting and uneasy times because if you've been in therapy or I don't know, just really had a moment where you kind of like evolved, you start realizing the first reflection is on you. I'm in my garage right now, and I just heard this thing right here. It's dripping. That is dripping now. This is an older house now, so it happens. But there's something. It sounds like it's dripping more since I said something about it. It's something about it that at one point in my life would have drove me crazy. But now I'm like, I have someone gonna fix it. That's one thing. But it's like it would have been terrible. So now, what else? See, that's the thing. When you take layers off, you have more to deal with. And so many people are secure in layers, even if it's bad. I peeled off a few layers where that don't drive me nuts, but I have my moments. But it's got to be moments now, not lifestyle. Like I have the right to be angry, or I have the right to feel superior. I have the right, all those kind of things are just ridiculous. Um, but let's say this: listen to your heart, and not people like me who who are doing the same. They're listening to their heart, because the bottom line is this world is much bigger. It has so much more to give than what we've been giving it. Uh, yeah, that's all I got. Plus, I don't know if my neighbor's about to come out and start yelling at his folks. I don't know. Sometimes, man, people get mad about realistic stuff, like your children, making sure that they're all right. It's more stuff to be concerned with than everything. That's not good for you. But this is pretty cool. I didn't think about doing this, but I said this will be the intro. Now, coming up, of course, like all the other shows, we're going to have three subjects, 5 minutes apiece, and see where the bit goes. That's pretty much it. 5 bits. Ultimately, this is to lighten it up, man. Great day, man. Like, don't you have enough going on where than to worry about so much other stuff? The one thing we do need though, we need to get ourselves together and then get on top of this whole situation if we really do feel uncomfortable. I mean, I get it that money tight, and yeah, that's a reason to get together. But there's other stuff too. But let's take care of the money situation. Let's get these folks to kind of work in our where they're supposed to be, working for us, right? Right? And that's all I gotta say. It's not them, it's not they. Let's get the folk, the government, but we gotta participate. We gotta participate. That's the thing. We have to participate. We have to lay it down. Like, look, I got my differences. And some of them are pretty big, but I don't want to be this broke, and I don't want to be hating you this broke.
As we continue, the internet is buzzing with theories about Annie Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie's daughter, and her husband Tommaso Cioni. Now, many conspiracy theorists have been pointing to the idea that Annie and Tommaso are somehow involved. Law enforcement has explicitly stated that neither Annie or Tommaso have been named suspects or people of interest. Savannah herself has even come out and said that these accusations are unbearable and that they add pain onto pain. So, starting out, Jen, this is really interesting. It seems like the authorities at the beginning of this investigation were zoning in on Annie and Tommaso. Why could that be?
Well, I don't interpret that as zoning in on them. What I interpret that as, they were the last to see her, other than Porch Guy. And because of that, that pulls an extra look at them.
And what could that have to do with the person using that forensic extraction device? Why were the SIM cards and the computers a point of interest for authorities in this investigation?
Well, we all saw those ICAC bags, right? And anytime you see that, that is somebody that has a specialty, typically used in child abduction cases where you quickly want to extract information. And in a sense, this was no difference other than it had to do with an 84-year-old woman. So
Now that we're at this point in the investigation, the authorities have come out. They said they're not looking at Annie and Tommaso. They're not suspects. They're not people of interest. Yet these conspiracy theories still continue to swirl, and it seems like it's led to Annie and Tommaso laying low.
the reason I believe they're laying so low right now is because, can you imagine the people still finger pointing at them? In fact, I used to be able to find Tommaso Cioni on their list of teachers at the school that he teaches at. I can't find that anymore. Of course, that could be for a lot of reasons. Maybe they've changed how they do their website. Maybe they are keeping him off of there because of all the heat that that school would be taking. Whenever you have a mob of social media conspiracy theorists that believe no matter what's put out by law enforcement that somebody's involved, you are going to
She said
have
the
a
right stuff
heavy
right there.
presence of bullying and of trying to find Annie and Tommaso and following them and causing issues. So I think in large part that's why they are laying low.
When it concerns the Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos not talking to the Guthrie family, does that raise any red flags for you at
450
all?
mark.
Yes, it does. Look, at the end of the day, his jurisdiction, he has venue. He 100% is the adjudicating authority in this particular case right
Try
now.
to find out what's going
Unless
on so I can win this $1 million. It ain't win, but claim.
I know what you meant. I
Okay.
know what you meant. And so does the world. But if they wanted to say that you meant that, I'll turn you in for the million. All right. So since we're here, Nancy Guthrie.
It's still missing as of right now,
Right.
and it's unfortunate
Right.
that it has it's being drawn out like this. That's very very unfortunate.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate. And me neither, Siri. I don't understand why she's still missing and no one knows. But it's interesting that it's kind of low. It's like it's trending low, but it does have a following to it. But it's like it hasn't really been. I guess it has been in the news. I don't look at the main news, but I know YouTube and my wife has kept me informed with this case, and I'm like, I hate to sound all conspiracy theorists, but I do think one that the family is really going through a lot right now because they don't know what's up with their mother. And this also can lead to some real crazy surveillance stuff. And let me just say, I hope it doesn't go to that point. They already want to use surveillance for your pets. Now let's use it for senior citizens because they get lost or kidnapped.
Right. So yeah, let's just take it to the next level,
Right.
so we don't have to deal with stuff like this.
So we don't have to deal with stuff like this. Now, my grandparents are gone. God bless them. I love them, miss them dearly. I don't think anyone would have kidnapped them. So don't use this for your tactics.
Maybe because it's some psychos out there that just do things for randomness, or they will seek out an old couple that has nothing and just do random stuff just for no reason because they psycho.
Just for no reason because they're psycho. I really hope that there's nothing terrible going on here. And
I mean, it's already something going terrible when you don't know where your parent is.
I know.
That's already terrible.
Any
so.
more terrible then? I please excuse me with me saying that. Thank you for your correction, because it is already terrible. But I feel it's terrible that there is no answers. Not only are we aware that this lady has been taken, but there has been no answers.
It's no answers. But that's a lot of pressure on the people investigating. That's a lot of pressure because it's a lot of cases that go on unsolved within within 100 days. But since this has gotten so much publicity, it's a lot of more pressure to show something, to do something, to prove something when there's really nothing going on. But it's like, have you forgot about the other 20,000 cases that's going on at the same time? Nobody's pressuring those departments.
Nobody is pressuring those departments. So we need to actually do something. And that is pray. Because I don't know what else you could do. It's obvious that whoever did this are either geniuses or on some Pink Panther shit where everything is being bungled and they're able to get away. That's it. I don't know what else it could be, but some Cape Crusader has taken this woman, and obviously it wasn't. They got photos. It looks like some kind of person right now is leaning towards a male who somehow is on surveillance in front of a house trying to put up weeds and flowers to cover the camera up. And then hours later, the mom is missing. I don't know what to say.
Yes, it's pretty unfortunate.
And she's been gone for months. And it just happened to be a anchor, a morning show anchor, mom.
Yeah, that's.
So you have that on top of that.
Exactly. This is like watching a real live movie. Like this is like watching a mini series. Like,
yeah.
But it's real life. Like this is a real life mini series.
Imagine a town that only has maybe no more than 10,000 people in it, and they're all spread out, and someone famous parent lives there because it's a little nice small town. I go visit my mom. She lives in Blackstone, Virginia. Yada yada woo. I'll be on the news every Monday in New York City, or Sundays, and whatever they do every weekday. And now my mom's gone. Somebody in Blackstone robbed her. Can you imagine me telling you that?
Yeah, it sounds like a Hallmark movie.
Yes. No one goes to Blackstone, but to rob and we don't have that kind of stuff here. We're a little small town.
Yeah, it's like a Murder, She Wrote type of story.
Yeah.
I expect to see Angela Lansbury running down the street.
I want the family to get some resolution, some kind of quick resolution now, because it's been a minute.
Yeah, but it's it's a lot of cases just like this going on at the same time that we know nothing about.
Look, now
we know nothing about.
I get why women love these kind of podcasts, the mysteries and the unsolved, because it's very in-depth stuff that, I be real, most women love, like when they read books and stuff. It's just so intense. So I can see why those podcasts are so huge. And this has put me in their game because I have never been involved in a case like I am because of you. You drew me in.
Right.
You drew me in.
Yeah, you got like secondhand smoke of this case.
Yeah, I did. Secondhand smoke.
Shoot.
A toxic tank at an aerospace plant in Garden Grove on a path to spill or explode. 50,000 people have been ordered to evacuate from their homes. CBS LA's Elise Martinez live at the command center with new information on this danger. Good morning, Elise.
Let's show you the latest video from SkyCal. Firefighters getting very close to the tank at the center of this crisis once again late last night, putting their lives on the line. Crews with flashlights walking around, but it was unclear what they were doing exactly. Yesterday, the Orange County Fire Authority told us that they had to be pulled back because it was just so dangerous. Experts on this type of incident from all over the state, they are coming in to help figure out how to secure this bulging pressurized tank loaded with 7,000 gallons of a highly flammable, highly volatile chemical. It's flanked by 2 other tanks filled with that same chemical. The Orange County Fire Authority also saying the primary focus right now is hosing those tanks down to keep them cool and continually monitoring them with drones which circle every 10 minutes watching for any temperature changes. The Orange County Fire Authority also telling us yesterday that the temperature inside the tank was going up 1 degree every hour and not cooling or stabilizing as previously thought. And that was bad news. Temperatures inside the tank reaching 90 degrees by 10 a.m. yesterday. That's up from 77 degrees just 1 day earlier. Now, one concern about the hazmat situation is what's called a thermal runaway. A USC professor of chemistry explained to us what that looks like.
Because when you say thermal runaway, it sort of gives off the idea that this is getting away from officials, getting away from people. Where's the line there? What's the threshold?
It always depends on circumstances, and in this case, it depends on the integrity and the material of the tank. So how much pressure can the tank hold, and to what temperature can the system reach before there's a big problem? And for example, if there's a leak, at that point, because there would also be vapors depending on the temperature, you would also want to avoid having any sparks or open flames in that area, because that could also itself cause this thermal runaway.
Dummies.
Okay. Let's talk about thermal runaways because of a chemical leak that has been going on. I'm on the East Coast. This is on the West Coast. But I have a feeling this is going to somehow affect the weather. Okay? If this shit explodes,
God bless the vegetables.
They have had to evacuate 50,000 people. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's just a precaution.
It is a precaution, but they're saying it's not looking good. Yeah.
They just don't know. If they never experienced it before, so they really don't know. They just basically putting their best guesses together as to what could happen if this temperature keeps going up.
If the temperature keeps going up, which it has from reports.
Yeah, it's been going up. And it's not cooling down like they thought it could. So how much temperature can these containers hold, like they said? We don't know.
We don't know.
Because they never had to do it.
How do you get in possession of these kind of things?
Yeah, right. What do you got to sign off on?
What, sign off on? How do you say? How do you go to? When you got to get your building, your license, your business license, and your building permits and stuff like that, right? And it's on there. It says, I am proposing to open a business to hold waste materials
from nuclear
toxic
chemicals.
Yes, toxic stuff.
I want to have about 700 gallons of it on site.
Yeah, I purchased this land particularly, and it sounds like I'm in a neighborhood.
I mean, what you got to have to do that? Because could me and you do that? Could we order some?
Well, we have to have the containers, right? So let's say I have a lot of land out in the country somewhere, right? Let's say I had that, and then I said, all right, I'm putting containers out there to hold chemical waste, right? How do I begin that process?
Right.
Why do I want to get in that business?
Exactly.
Someone did not read the gauges.
Well.
Or they did, and it was too late. How do you get people to pass your containers? How do you outsource to get containers to hold stuff? What are we talking about?
I mean, obviously it's available because it's a whole business.
You need to open these kind of businesses in the mountains, just somewhere where ain't people.
How do you get approval for such a business? Like you go down to the business office and be like, I want to put in a submission to open a such and such company, and they be like,
I hope no one dies from this or get real poisoned and sick from this. But man, if this thing blows up, it's going to be new property in a couple of years.
I don't think it's going to be much.
I hope not.
Because they just need something to talk about. That's all. It ain't going to be nothing.
Yeah.
They hyping it up for no reason.
Like me. I'm not hyping it up. I am saying
that ain't gonna do nothing. They
have asked scientists to come in to help them lower the temperature.
Right. This is an Indiana Jones movie now. Where they go get the top scientists across the world. They go pick them up from them doing a talk.
It is in Orange County.
They're in the middle of teaching class, and some FBI agents just come in class and take them away to solve the problem.
All the reporters looked like they had some work done.
Oh, well.
It's LA. It's a different network. Like we live in
wherever we
Virginia.
live.
Okay? And in our ways of Virginia, the reporters don't look like that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's national. Every news area got its own reporter look. You go to some other states, they got like older reporters a lot.
I like how you try to what'd you say? I can't think of the word now because it was so funny. She was preparing to buffer me. Buff whatever I was about to say. I won't go say nothing bad about nobody and where we was from. All I got to do is get my what is it? The PBS address. IP address. That's all I got to get. I'm on YouTube.
Good.
Thanks, dear. Chemicals, man, gonna kill us.
Yeah. Well,
it ain't gonna kill us. I hope it don't kill no one. I just don't like the fact that I can open up something like that if I have the right setup.
Yeah.
If my money is right, the credit is good, I can get something like that.
It would take a lot for you to get that, actually. Like
hilarious.
If you started,
I'm not talking about me actually. Hey, what you talking about, man? All I got to do is get the right. If I had, you're right. Hey.
That would take a lot.
It would take a lot.
Good
but
God.
Evidently, it doesn't matter where it's set up at.
Because a lot of people would have them if it was easy.
Maybe that's the problem.
And what they making and what they selling.
I wish I had the thing. I wish I had a possible.
Imagine if you worked there, how your lungs.
I wish I could find the data on how many of these are around, because apparently this one is in like one of the major places in Orange County. It's in a neighborhood that has evacuated 50,000 residents, or they put them on alert. And it's like, so that's got to be somewhere close to neighborhoods.
Ain't gonna be none. And you think it's gonna be Chernobyl?
Chernobyl, yeah.
That's what you think is gonna happen?
Yes, they're gonna have radioactive dogs in LA County.
Okay.
In Orange County.
Well,
which I know nothing about.
We'll just see if anything sparks off. Get it?
This is something nice and dear to your heart, yo.
No, it ain't.
I have a question though, for real, because it is something close to your heart. What's close to your heart is how much you despise it. That's how much you. And it's not that you don't like the product. You love the product. You just hate the quantities of places you can go to get this product that is messing up your vibe. And it also kind of represents a neighborhood if it's paired with another business. I am talking about, come on, Sandra, crab boils, broils, or bowls.
Boil.
Boil and vape shops. And if you live in a real beach town, they probably combined.
Ew.
Yeah. The vape shop is like the store. The store is actually a vape shop. You know, man, in the beach towns, man, when they got those kind of places, that was a OG setups, by the way. And next door was like one of those souvenir shops. But souvenir shops slowly over the years turned into vape shops.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out why.
Right.
Why do we need? I mean, what is it that you? And maybe it's something that they buy from those stores that I don't know that the people need. Like it has to be like, it has to be a vape shop on every corner, because if not, somebody might die or something. Like is they selling like behind the back like chemicals that can keep people alive?
Oh, chemicals that are eventually leak and start to shut down counties. I'm just saying, it was interesting when you brought it up to me. And you always just say, why? Now, when is the last, have you ever had one? I don't recall me getting one with you. I think the only other time we've gotten one is when we were at the beach and we were with your family and we got like, we got a bunch of crab legs and corn and stuff like that. And they had it in this season bag, and you bust the bag open, and then you would just eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's when I first experienced it. But now it has become something that is no longer at areas like the Tidewater areas or,
right,
Chesapeake areas.
Exactly.
Places that have these, abundance of seafood. That's part of their whole tourist thing and part of their businesses. And it was like, yeah, I'm at the beach. I eat a lot of seafood. I'm going to have this seafood, bake or whatever and drink a lot of margaritas or whatever like you do when you're at the beach. And that's it. But now they have been in like malls.
Right. Right. And it ain't fresh because you ain't getting fresh seafood flown in.
Yeah.
So everything is frozen.
Right. So
you ain't by the beach.
The explosion is odd. And let's not talk about vape shops. If an old Burger King shuts down, a vape shop gonna take its place.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with the vape shops.
Yeah.
I know there used to be a time when I used to be part of the community that wanted to get blunts and do, and smoke and stuff. And it was like, man, I gotta find a way to get. Now it's everywhere, and it's like, why?
Maybe it's just an easy way to have a quote unquote business without having a whole lot to deal with. I just sell some cigarettes and some lighters and stuff, and that's my business.
Okay.
It's easy to open,
Yeah,
what you need to sell cigarettes and lighters and crap.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure there's other people who think that the same thing, but they think it's like some terrorist action.
I'm like, and that's like, and they just let them. They just let them keep getting them. I'm like,
don't say let them.
Like they sign off. They sign off on all these licenses for every. It's a vape shop 2 doors down. Okay, well, sure, you can open another one. I'm like, can we have some other businesses, please?
Right.
God, I mean, it's amazing how they always find a target to put in certain neighborhoods. It used to be check cashing places. Now it's fucking vape shops and shit. Like we don't never get no good franchises. Like some neighborhoods you'll never see a freaking vape shop.
Right.
And you won't see a fucking seafood boil on every corner. No.
I don't know, man. It is wild. It is interesting. And, man, they stay in business. That's crazy. Right now they are.